Whether you are brand new to speech and debate coaching or just getting your feet wet in UIL, my name is Rhonda Alexander, and I am here to help you feel confident and excited about guiding students into two very rewarding formats. There is no prior experience required, just a willingness to support curious, courageous young voices. Let's start with extemporaneous speaking, otherwise known as Extemp. In UIL, students choose one of 5 topics that they are allowed to draw from their envelope. From there, they have 30 minutes to prepare a 7-minute speech that they will give in front of 1 to 5 judges. In order to prepare their speeches, students use the articles that they have saved into their electronic tubs. They still can use physical tubs if they wish, but those are pretty tedious to carry around. So the electronic version is much better. But the word tubs comes from back in the early days when students actually stored their articles, the physical articles, into physical file folders, usually in these giant Rubbermaid tubs. But as I said, now the trend is to save them as a PDF and put them into an electronic tub. So sometimes this is through Google or Dropbox or another filing format. Topics range from U.S. politics to international conflict, with everything in between. But generally, topics will remain in the realm of economy, relations, and societal concerns. Students gain a clearer understanding of the world around them and learn to speak clearly about important issues. And they gain an appreciation of using evidence to build credible speeches. Some of the other benefits that students gain: learning to organize their ideas in order to build strong points or arguments. They gain the ability to speak with confidence and poise, and they build the habit of staying informed about the world around them. Getting students started only takes a few things: a good attitude and a desire to learn, a set of PDF articles compiled by the students. Sometimes these are assigned by topic area, sometimes they are assigned by publication, and sometimes the students just each save a certain amount of articles each week and share tubs with their team, or sometimes even with other teams. They also need a timer and a quiet place to practice. And then they also need encouragement, lots of encouragement, and a few basic drills to help build structure and delivery skills. So you might be asking, who would I recruit for extemporaneous speaking? Well, look for your students who enjoy asking questions, who like to keep up with the news, or like to explain things to other people. Maybe they have just a very clear explanation style. Extemp is great for thinkers, talkers, and those who like a challenge. Often, these students are involved in other academic competitions like debate or current events. So if you have a student who is always on their phone reading the news, or who always loves to argue every single thing in class, you might have found your extemporaneous speaker. So now let's talk about what Pocket Coach Academy resources offer for extemporaneous speaking. Our lessons provide a step-by-step guide on how to structure a winning speech from the introduction to the conclusion, with several strategies in between to help make those speeches even better. In addition, you will find lessons on tub development and nonverbal communication. These lessons are great to show your students or even to watch yourself. With these resources at your fingertips, you will light the way for students to begin a journey of success in extemporaneous speaking. Our weekly questions and videos in Extemp Weekly will save you time. Instead of you having to write all the questions for practice, you will get 10 questions a week that you can give to your students for practice speeches. And instead of you having to stop and explain all of the nuances and the context of everything going on in the world, I will be doing that for you in the weekly videos. When students better understand the nuances of topic areas, and as a result of the topics themselves, their answers become clearer and their analysis deeper. Many coaches show both the United States and international videos to their classes each week because it's not just good for extemporaneous speaking. Contextualizing what's happening can often be helpful in all of the debate events. And now let's talk about congressional debate. Congress simulates a legislative chamber where students debate bills and resolutions written by other schools and their own. They follow parliamentary procedure to give speeches and ask questions and then to vote on the legislation, just like real lawmakers. Here's how it works. Each round uses the legislation submitted by participating schools. Sometimes the rounds are broken from prelims into finals. Sometimes they just debate, and the top students in the room become the winners of the round. Students give 3-minute speeches for or against the legislation, and then there is a questioning period where the speaker has to answer questions by the other students. They follow parliamentary procedure for speeches and for questions to ensure that rounds are fair. In congressional debate, students learn to analyze policies and write legislation. They learn how to speak persuasively and respectfully, and they learn how to lead and collaborate in a group setting. And finally, they learn how parliamentary procedure works. So who do you recruit for congressional debate? Students who love government, history, or discussing social issues, and even students who may actually want to run for public office one day. If they enjoy group work, asking thoughtful questions, or imagining how to improve the world, students will feel right at home in congressional debate. Those who are interested in extemporaneous speaking will find that congressional debate is an easy transitional event. The components of these two complement one another perfectly. And what does Pocket Coach Academy offer for congressional debate? Lessons in writing legislation, one for bills, one for resolutions, as well as lessons for developing speeches and questioning strategies. And then there is an entire lesson on what happens at a tournament. In addition, you will find a lesson that breaks down the table of frequently used parliamentary motions. And there is even an adapted lesson on nonverbal communication specifically for congressional debate. So you'll have everything you need to get your students started on a journey of fun and interactive UIL competition that builds skills in critical thinking while developing a true interest and understanding of United States legislative purpose. So just a few tips for you. Start small. 1 or 2 students is plenty to launch a team. Use what's available. UIL has many great resources on their website. You also have other coaches around that are probably excited to share what they have learned in their time coaching. Also, you can attend tournaments and judge. Judging in different rounds is a great way to learn how different events function and also to see what students who are successful have developed in order to improve their skills. Run short drills, watch sample rounds or sample speeches, and celebrate progress with your students. You will find that they grow quickly with encouragement and repetition. Create a space for them that encourages risk taking, growth, and camaraderie. A place where students feel safe to try, to fail, to accept, and to improve. And keep it fun. These events are serious in content, but they are joyful in spirit. Let students explore and experiment and find their voices. Extemp and Congress are about helping students become informed, articulate, and brave. You'll watch them grow in confidence, learn to speak with purpose, and discover how their ideas can shape the world. They will find their voices and they will use these skills throughout their lives. Speech and debate often gives students a leg up when it comes to college and even their careers. One of the most rewarding choices I've ever made was agreeing to coach speech and debate. I've watched students grow in ways that have changed their lives and mine. You are about to begin a journey filled with hard work, laughter, maybe a few tears, and unforgettable moments. Welcome to the team. You've got this.